to help create thrivability in this community. Today, all boats rise, and we are so happy you've joined us. But do me a favor, put your name down below. Put your name down below. And if you are on YouTube Live, welcome. Smash that subscribe button and that notification button, and we can join each other today. I see y'all coming on board. I want to say welcome. We're going to be hanging out with the amazing Kathy Mason today, and I want to tell you about it. Okay, here it comes. It's starting to come in live. Good morning, Kathy. And then welcome, Kathy Mason. So glad you're here today. So excited for you guys to be here. I want to tell you that if you're here on the show every day, this is going to be a great day to be here. It's going to be life-changing. We're going to rock the boat. We are going to have a great time. And hey, Ryan, good morning, buddy. I'm glad to see you on. Thank you for being here, everyone. What we're going to be talking about today is going to be absolutely fun. But the first thing I want to do, if I want to introduce you to Kathy. First off, Kathy has been doing Facebook Live for eons. I mean, she is on all the time, so much longer than we have, but she's also a best-selling author, and she's also a speaker. She's the host of the Facebook Live show, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. Conscious Business Zone. She's also an online sales specialist who works with conscious companies, which I work with all the. I love conscious business so much. It's so important today. And she helps them grow. But here's the thing that gets me. She is also a psychic and an intuitive, and she can see your soul mission and help you create that vision. And I want to help you welcome Kathy Mason to the show. Thank you for being on the coffee break with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You know, it's interesting. We got a lot of people who are popping on to say good morning and welcome to you. And I just want to recognize everybody and say good morning. I see you guys coming on right now. What I want to talk about, where I want to dive in is, how did you get here? Okay. Where's your start? Tell us about who you are and how you just developed this whole thing with your conscious business structure.
Well, how do you start? Oh my gosh. Well, as far as the Conscious Business Zone, that has been going on. That show on Facebook has been going on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. So sometimes I miss when you're on. Yeah. It's really geared towards helping conscious business owners know about resources. And my business has been working with conscious companies for 20 years.
So 20 years, yeah. 20 years.
Yeah. So what happened is, I didn't really have to go searching for people for the first maybe year, well, maybe a little bit towards the end of the year, because I had worked with so many people that I still needed a launch, a way to get exposure. So that was so easy and fun. It's so much fun because I got my tea and you got your coffee or tea.
That's right.
and it's so casual, doesn't cost anything, just like yours. So the whole thing is, it's all about showcasing.
Yes.
People's businesses, because right. I think they're super cool and I want other people to know about them. So that's really easy. But you're asking, where did I get started? I think I've always, I know that I've been psychic and intuitive and known about other things in the ethers since I was 8.
Oh, wow.
So, and had to figure out how to hide it. Kind of.
Yeah. Back then it wasn't the era, was it?
No, I remember going out in my backyard at 8 and putting my arms up and going, "You left me at the wrong house. Please come and get me." And they don't.
It's amazing. It's amazing how the universe has like this, a perfect accounting system, a perfect system to get you where you are. I want to say something that's very interesting, because all my life, from the time I'm just a toddler like you, I've had this experience of being connected to something greater than myself.
Right.
When I was younger, it made me feel protected. As an adult, it has guided my footsteps. It has guided my movements into here. And when you say, you're looking at the basis of a, hey Ken, nice to see you on, buddy. The basis of a business. I just want to say hi to Papa Bear.
Yeah.
He couldn't resist stepping in to see Vicky and Kathy Mason, Robin Helm, Karen Sachs Epley. What a group of my favorites.
Oh,
I want to let you know, Ken MacArthur, you're a group of our favorites too. Thank you for being here. We are talking about having conscious business. And that means to me, businesses that have an impact. And so since you are the impact master, welcome to the show here. But
yeah.
what I want to know, Kathy, is when you connect with this divine, because I've always felt like I've been told where to go, where you surrender, where to go. And every time I do that, my businesses are successful. Anytime I use my mind and I'm just running with my mind, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. And I think most people don't understand what it means to be a conscious business. And I'd like your definition of that. And what it means to be a mission-based business. How do you feel that? How do you work with your clients and uncover the mission part of their business?
Okay, so you've asked about 3 questions.
I know I've asked a lot. That's what I thought I said. She's like, one question at a time.
Okay, so basically what happens, the way that I work with people, and I am totally guided. Although I will test it a lot of times and have to test it and ask, is this mine to do? So if they're difficult, or if I just don't get how I'm going to do it, right? If it doesn't seem that intuitive. But what happens is, if somebody wants to work with me, what we'll do is we open up the Akashic records, and we go to my higher self goes to their higher self, and if I'm supposed to, I see a movie in full color of their journey. And what it is it's their soul mission. And their soul mission can be fulfilled on multiple timelines. But what they do is they show me the best timeline for them to pursue. A lot of times they'll show me the name of their products. So they're here.
Wow.
And they want to go here. Whoops, so stay in the screen.
Stay in the frame. Yeah, we got you.
Okay, so they're here and they want to go here, and they don't know how to do the steps to get to here, and they are not being that yet.
Got it.
So what happens is their higher self finds me, because some of these people find me from all over the world. And what they do is they then are shown a way. And I actually love Zoom and this digital recording, because I kind of get out of the way, and it's their higher self using my instrument to talk.
Beautiful.
So a lot of times it's my words and my vision that may not totally resonate with them right away. So it's great to have a recording of it. But I mean, so what happens is then they see this end game. Some people cry because they recognize it. It's their soul using me to get the information to them, and they must be ready enough to do that, even though they still may need a kick a little bit to get there. But what happens is it allows me to help them build a marketing plan to do these steps. And I get to hold the mirror up to them, because they're divine beings. I believe everyone is divine, and that all they need is support to see their divinity, so they walk into it. So this is my job. Then I'm also, if it is mine to do, if it's not just a reading, if it's that, which usually I don't do readings separate. It's usually the whole shebang. I'm given this huge energy package that looks like one of the bubbles that has stuff, and that's how we land it. Yeah. Now, I had somebody interview me maybe a year ago, and he said, well, this just sounds like marketing. How is this different? And I was like, I can't tell you. It is so different. I don't have words for a lot of it because it's your journey, and you obviously needed support to get to this new you, to
Beautiful.
higher expression. And so these people, a lot of them, they do 3 times what they were doing in business,
Wow.
do 10. And I've used this, I mean, I was working in corporate too.
I've
So
done that. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, one company we went 10 times in 1 year. I personally used it on one of my companies a long time ago that I tripled my business in 1 year. Then another company went from 850,000 to 5 million in a year.
Nice. Beautiful.
What happens? It's divine. It's not.
Mhm.
It's just somebody landing it.
You
That's
know, it's so interesting what you're saying. It's so interesting what you're saying because a lot of times people tend to think that business is all brain and they're like, follow my brain, follow my brain, follow my brain. And the thing about business with following your brain is that your ego's kind of hooked to that brain. And what ends up happening is you can't actually listen to who you are. And you made a very interesting statement. You were like, it's the soul of them. And I'm like, yes, do you know you are actually your soul? You aren't your brain. When you die, your brain doesn't go with you. When you die, your ego doesn't go to heaven with you. What goes to heaven? That's the thing you actually are, right? That makes basic sense. And for some reason, we tend to forget that that exists or to use that in the creation of the thing that we're making and to listen inward because you're right. The very basic part of the human experience is that you are divine. You're here in the spirit from this spiritual realm, having a human experience and discovering the parts of you and using them well. And when you get to the point where your business is through your soul, I can see while it jumps. And if you have a hard time, looking at what it is that your business is in, and you need some help, and your brain is too far in your way, then it's definitely some gift to have the bridging, somebody to bridge that back into place. Because for me, the entire journey is a soul journey, right?
right.
And so that soul journey coming out in your business, it's so beautifully said what you just said. I mean, there's a lot of times where we forget that we can hear something other than our own mind. So let me ask you something. In the conscious business realm, because right now that's the thing I think is going to move forward, because conscious businesses they grow faster, they have more loyal customers, they have people who stay with them long, and the marketing for it is more about education and not trying to, it's educational and relationship. And what would you say to somebody who's starting a brand new conscious business? What would they, in their startup phase, what would be like 3 things that you think would help them grow their message or grow their business, or 3 tips for them if you had those, that you were there? And look at this, everybody is just, you guys, I see you. I just want to tell you, everybody's resonating with the conversation. And thank you for that. We've had tons of people. So Ryan, I knew you'd get this. Everybody's liking the conversation. Thank you. If you guys have questions for her, pop them in the conversation. We're going to have it. She's going to talk about 3 tips right now. And I'm trying to only ask one question at a time, but she's here and I've got her here and I'm like, let's get everything we can.
We have to do this more than once, I guess. So one of the first tips would be brave. Assume that whatever your gift is that you might be a little hesitant to get out, the world needs. So that's the first one. Second one would be focus on money making
Yes.
Because what happens is it's very easy to get sidetracked, especially if you're doing work that serves others, to have a bunch of people show up. You want to give some things for free, but you have to create money-making products and services, or else you're not in business. That's that one. And then third, well, there's about 10, but third, I would say, is I have a pretty robust process that I use to help you figure out your avatar. And if you
Mm,
don't know what the challenges and frustrations are that your avatar has,
yeah,
you cannot serve them very well.
that's
So
true.
the third thing, and there could be 10, but the third thing would be put a lot of effort into really diving deep into who your best, your A customer is,
That's right. You go, girl.
what they need, because that's your whole process of support. Because if you're in service, the way this works is the more you're in service, the more you help people, the better
Yeah.
you do, the more you can help more people, the better you do. And it
Yeah.
just keeps growing. And that's the heart space, that's the fuel that runs it. And it's also your learning, because if you're not helping enough customers, you're not seeing enough,
That's
you're not
right.
growing. Because I grow with I've been doing this for 20 years, and I still learn every
Amen.
day.
It's all personal development. My crowd of guests today that are with you. Look at this. This is fun. Don't worry about us. Let her tell her story. I'm like, yay, that's good. And look at this right after that. What's the best way to reach Kathy for a conversation?
Okay.
What's the best way to reach you for a conversation? They're already trying to get a hold of you, and the show isn't even over yet.
Well, Kathy at masonworksmarketing.com, but I made, well, you'll tell me when to put the free gift.
Well, let's put it in right now. Can we put in? Oh, look, they've already done it for me. Look at this. There's Kathy Mason on Facebook. She has a free gift for us today. We haven't even started, but since you guys asked, how do we get a hold of her? I want to get that to you right now.
It's
And
in
if
the
you,
private chat.
it is. Let's go into the private chat. Oh. Boy, there. Hang on. I'll be right there, guys. Hang on.
It's
Let's see.
masonworksmarketing.com
Yeah, it's masonworksmarketing.com presents focus. So what I want to be able to do is have you say, I'm going to copy this and paste it right now into the, and well, tell them what it is too. So they can have, they're ahead of the game on me today.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the energy. That's wonderful. I did a program about what to do during the quarantine, as far as how to help you still grow your business. And I'm finding that people are having a hard time staying focused. The fear in the ethers, if you're sensitive, it's just pervasive. It's in the global consciousness. And so focus is the key to being able to pull yourself back and get back online to what you really want to do, and setting up schedules. So I created a cheat sheet that eventually I'll make a program for the whole thing for focus. But I thought that would be the best way to help small businesses. The businesses that I'm assuming are going to use this are people that are like me. I have a regular office with 3 rooms, and I'm now home.
That's
and
right.
so I don't have all of my stuff here. And so focus, the distraction, I have 2 cats, which thank goodness they're not trying to come in right now. But it's like a zoo, it's so the distractions, the noise, trying to get centered back and breathing and get
Beautiful.
so that's it's just a free gift.
Maintain your focus.
Hopefully it'll help you. And that way we can stay in touch also once you sign up and get it.
Great. Kathy, I want to let you know it's on fire right now and they've got questions.
Uh-oh.
People are asking right now, Kathy Mason, that is amazing and quite the responsibility for you. How do you feel within on an inner spiritual level when you walk on this path called life? How do you, and at what age did you come to the point where you realized you would use this gift on the business level? Do you get the 2 questions? Can I, and I want to remove them because it's blocking your face right there. So thank you for the questions. So the questions, how do you feel walking through this life with that? And how did you know you had to use it on a business level?
Okay, so
great question, Donnie. Thank you.
Donnie, this isn't something I decided to turn on. This is who I am. So, and I
Mm.
have a group of beings that help me, that I've had, that I trusted more. So, okay, I'll back up. I think this is a school. I think Earth is a school. And I think that you can't really get it wrong, but you can keep learning and learning and learning.
Yeah.
If your heart's in the right place, you're not manipulative, and you're not, and you're coming from the
Yes.
divine, that it all works perfectly. So when you asked when did I turn it on, I couldn't turn it off. I really,
Mm.
so I'm one of those people that I go into a situation and I see the game. I see
Mhm.
the role playing. I see the doesn't this person know if they do this that that's going to happen? And so I don't turn it on and off necessarily. And then the other question was something about the responsibility, I guess.
No, they wanted to know, when did you know you were supposed to use it with
Oh,
business?
I do ask. So basically, people find me. I've done a lot of work for the people that are in the Hay House groups, a lot
Mhm.
of the Hay House authors behind the scenes.
Mm.
So I kind of used my intuition. Like they'll go, "Oh, that's brilliant. How'd you know?" It's like, and right. So I'm not sure that I could say I do test, because I've had some really difficult customers in my life that were, I was like, "Are you sure this is who I'm supposed to help?" Because they are, and they are making, they're tough, where they're confrontive or they're afraid,
Sure.
basically, right? So you just do. I'm on assignment. That's the way I feel. It's
Yes. Yes. I love that because I often feel that way as well. And I have, when I start a conscious business, a set of rules that help me determine whether I'm even going to evaluate the opportunity. But I have also known, and I know you know this feeling because of what you do, but I've also known there is something different, a feeling that is very different when an idea hits your brain and an idea hits your soul. And I don't mean your heart. Your heart is the way to the soul.
right,
The heart can confuse things because it likes to tell your mind what it's going to think, like, but what if this and what if that? But if you go underneath the what if and you just feel it in your soul, it feels so empowering. You cannot not do it.
right.
So it's like moving forward, you cannot not do it. So what I'm looking forward to saying, yeah, okay. So people are talking. They're like, I'm on a mission from God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brother.
that's the core principle of it. And what I have find when these missions come is um, there's a point where business is twofold for me. There is an aspect of surrender, the surrender and faith, and that's made to personally grow you. So just like Kathy just said, she just said a bit ago, I've been in this for 2 decades. And out of that 2 decades, I haven't found a day where I haven't been able to personally develop or continue to grow. And I think when we act from our soul, and correct me if you have a different opinion, when we act from our soul, we're connecting to that piece of destiny that is us, where the moment, and the mission meet in the moment of the now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, that's to me, I look at it as energy, which I know you did the Barbara Brennan stuff, so
Yes, I do.
okay. So what happens is you can feel when something's ready to birth, and
Yes.
it's not. And so you sort of go, so that's what I'll see is I'll talk to someone and they're just not ready. It's a great thing. They're on the right track. but they're not ready. So then you just let them get ready because this is not, when you go through the eye of the needle, to go through your fears, to really go to, because this is big work. This is your soul missions work to go to the next level, to actually be a hero. Because a lot of times what you're doing is you go through your personal life journey, the hero's journey, and then once you're at the other side, you're sharing your journey enough so other people can join you and say, oh, well, she did it or he did it, I can do it too. So at that point, it's a totally different experience, right? You're totally able to open up to this whole, so someone yesterday or the day before called it obscurations. When you have these bits of energy that are holding you from your soul mission, and you let them go, your potential and your energy is quantum, right? Because it's multidimensional, and all of a sudden you then you're on track to do so much more and be the godlike beings that we really are. I mean, this construct that we're in right now, that's what I'm just hoping that people will really see, that they're divine, they're brilliant. They wouldn't be here unless they were supposed to be here during this time, that their benefit to mankind could be immense if they are brave enough to go the path of the warrior.
You are melting my heart.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's what I feel people need to hear right now, because the conflicting information that you're getting is, I mean, the conspiracy stuff, and we have to know this is a chess game being played on multi dimensions. And this time right now of being sequestered and forcing us to slow down, look at our stuff, and really choose. It's ingenious how this was put together.
And such an unexpected, listen, we're past the 30 minutes. Everybody's still here. Are you okay? Can we keep going? Great. So I want to switch gears right here and go to business and life during this time, this pandemic, in the middle of it, post-pandemic. Share your thoughts, share whatever you want to share with that, because it's such an interesting time to be in business. And wait, before you do that, I just want to thank you, Kathy. It's always great to hear from where the story begins, and also to understand you have embraced your gift and are using it to understand the path you are walking and your great depth of understanding. It is wonderful that you're living and sharing your truth. Thank you for being the spiritual being that you are and having the strength just to be that. Yes, you really have nailed that on the head, because there is a lot of courage. She came out 2 decades ago, and that's like, business and spirituality. They were not in the corporate place. It was like being gay in the 80s. It was not cool. And, so the time that's like, they're definitely in 2 different realms. And she stepped up. She's been doing this for 20 years, making the bridge so that other conscious business owners can walk over safely without being destructive with their business, or without backing out on themselves, without self-sabotaging themselves. No, keep going. That takes courage. And thank you for that. Thank you, Donald. That is a nice compliment.
Can I add something to it? Because Ken was on for a while. The way I started with this 20 years ago was cause marketing. And I learned that from a gentleman named Ken McBride, who had a thing called Make a Difference Network, which was a network that combined nonprofits with people that wanted to fund them. And that's how I met Ken. So MacArthur, and went to my first impact in 2008, I think.
So is that at the 2008 in Denver?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the one I spoke at that one. I'm not sure
I
which one.
took it one more recently to
I
that.
did do that. I've been pretty much everywhere.
Oh, you okay? Well, I don't remember you from the first one, but the only way I know it was 2008 is he signed my book.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not great at
It must have been after that because, oh, it had to be after that. I was on book tour on the East Coast. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And 2008, I was on the East Coast touring up that coast when the market fell. That's how. Isn't that weird that signpost? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so the way that I started was I used my intuitive skills to help people do cause marketing because I had come out of Arthur Andersen. I ran a division of the Change Enablement Group with 80 people. I was right below partner for Denver and
When I,
and Dallas.
when I graduated college, I worked for 3 months for Arthur Andersen.
Oh, 3 months.
It's crazy that you're saying that. It's just so crazy. Here's where the road meets. It wasn't for me. And nobody should have to do any kind of oil and gas accounting. But it's like when we get back, when we take the step into the divine, it was interesting because I remember thinking to myself, there's no way they could be separate. There's no way they could be separate. The business and spirituality.
Right.
Sometimes your business, I believe, is a reflection of where it's like the door in. The first thing you hit when you open a business is the thing that's been blocking you all of your life.
Exactly.
And the only way out is through. And that out is through. That's what she does. She helps you go from the only way out is through, and here's how you get through it. That's such a courageous career. It's such an amazing thing. And people are, okay, I want to go over here. Here we go. The spirituality business connection is the approach I've been self-conscious to fully reveal to prospects. Appreciate having a model and brave soul to show the way. Yes, thank you for that. Now, I really want to switch gears because we have business and it's in a new paradigm right now. We are shifting and transforming into this new paradigm. And I have her here and I want her to share her thoughts and her ideas and maybe some tips for you guys so that you can feel your way through what's happening and access her. And you know, if you guys put our Facebook group link back in there so we can make sure that you can continue to have contact with her. She does her show weekly. You guys can be on the Showtime after my show. Just saying. So you can go ahead and put that link in there. And Kathy, whatever you want to share with us, we're so excited to listen.
Well, I'm really excited about this time period. I think more and more people that were holding back and were afraid to share their gifts got a kick in the pants because this is almost like scene change, right? Action. Yes. Rotate, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
All of a sudden, if you have incredible healing abilities and you're hiding in another job, and that other job most likely just went away or it was reduced, it's like, okay, what are you waiting for? You gotta show up as who you really are. I see this as a huge opportunity. And the thing is that there are so many of us out here now. There's a lot of resources. It's not just me. There's a lot of people that knew that, I mean, it's sort of game on now, right?
Yes.
And if you're brave enough, which I do consider this a brave part of the hero's journey. I really do, because what you want to do, and my personal is Kathy Mason Love is for Facebook. Anybody, if there's room on my personal. But I think what you're going to find is that there's going to be more and more people talking about how you can authentically show up as who you are. When you were talking about people having their own issues and it shows up everywhere, when I first started doing this as consulting more than programs, what I found is that it seemed like every company was a dysfunctional family.
It is.
And the first thing he wanted to do was have a dowser clear their physical space so that they could actually let good energy in, and then work on that issue, because it is your worldview, right? When you've made absolute assumptions that, thank you, dear, thank you, Karen. When you've made absolute assumptions that the world is this way, that is not going to hold up anymore. There are no veils anymore. That's
right.
what we've gone through. This is, we're going in the solar system. Our planet has moved, and our whole solar system has moved, so that there is photonic light coming into the earth that is geared to wake us all up. The Schumann resonance has been off the charts, which is our magnetic, the magnetic field around the earth, and it's been the highest it's ever been. That is geared and intentional to wake us up.
Wow.
And access us to our superpowers. Everyone's a superhero. And so if we can get out of that, that paradigm of, oh, not me, or, oh, what will they think? They're not thinking about you. I mean, I get on Conscious Business Zone, and it's like, oh, I look terrible, but it's not about me. It's about
That's
them.
right.
So I
That's
don't
right.
care. And this, you know what I'm saying? In a month, your hair will look different, right?
Oh my gosh, you have not seen how much it's grown, and this is my vanity right here.
That's it's like, oh, being hair day. Oh well. So, but it's not about that. It's about showing up. Showing up as a bright light. There's a whole bunch of lighthouses all over the world. They're shining their light. They're speaking their truth. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. It doesn't matter. They're just showing you that you can speak your truth too. That your parents aren't here watching it. Your parents will be proud of you if you speak up. Yeah, because they were taught not to.
Yeah.
So, right. So this is a whole new world.
You know, it's so, I'm feeling, I have a few feelings. I feel very inspired right now. Very, very inspired. But my heart is so melted right now, and I can feel it trying to ease up into my throat, because we're talking about things that I love. I have to tell you that my journey began a few decades back, as well as yours did. And I graduated college with a degree in accounting and finance. And I went to work for Arthur Andersen for 3 months until I found out he made more than I did, only because he was he. And I left, and I realized for myself that my journey towards spiritualizing, enlightenment, whatever it is, has been the core center of everything I do. And one of the things that I find so interesting is that you said it. You were like, if you listen to yourself and you find yourself, that dissonance that happens where you're thinking this and thinking that way, and the courage to follow that. I literally got up from that gray cubicle of those era. I literally got up, and I decided that this inner voice was telling me, go now and do exactly what I tell you. And I was like, okay. And it said to go home and meditate for 4 hours a day, because I was very busy in my mind at that age, and I was very young and hyperactive. And that calming myself down, that 1 inch of faith, that, because it's like, you don't leave jobs that give you that much money and that benefits and all the perks and all the proud feelings. You don't walk away from that. There's a breakthrough point. You did. And that's what I'm finding interesting, because I'm noticing the path where we meet, and kind of, wow, that was that moment in time.
Right.
And what is so advanced for me is that because I did that one thing, I took this quantum leap. Now, The opportunity to take quantum leaps have to be set up by you and the universe.
Mhm.
And my point is what she just said, if you're listening very carefully right now, this is a point in time where you get that quantum leap.
Exactly.
It's like you either dissolve or die, or leap and thrive. We have to go ahead and look at that leap. And it's so brave that you're saying this, Kathy. And of course, I'm just going to pop this up because he likes to. Kathy Mason, I would venture to say you're a sage and believe this may become even more important in the business world. It's as if we are embracing ancient knowledge, manifesting it into this new paradigm. We're getting closer to realization of who we really are.
Right.
That is our path. And as a warrior to the light, the way for others, great love to you, Kathy. I mean, they really are loving this conversation. And here's an interesting thing too. I'm feeling that too, Vicki. Thank you for understanding, you guys. This is really, I'm feeling so fortunate, beautifully stated. Thank you for sharing. This is a moment in time that is one of the most precious things. But I want to say, I want to ask, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper here with Kathy because we have her and everybody's here. But what I noticed, Kathy, from being in this paradigm is that the critical issue is that we look how we're talking to ourselves, what we're thinking to ourselves,
Right.
and how can we pay attention so that we can actually take advantage of this paradigm. How can we pay attention more to our souls? How do we activate, if you will, this new paradigm inside us with from home, with what we have in front of us? How do we, do you understand what I'm asking?
Yes. Well, I think meditation is the key, and finding out if there's wonderful guides that you have that enjoy dinner. And thank you, Scott. I live in Boulder. I don't know where you live.
Southern Colorado. He's hours from you.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I come to Crestone. I love that area. Okay, so the question is, how do you get from where you are to where you want to be, kind of thing?
Mhm.
And it's tapping in. And so there's ways to tap in that allow you to go in and be more in connection. What we're talking about is embodying more of your soul. I believe that this whole time period, the reason why there's so many ETs in ships all over the place right now, there are like tons of them everywhere, being seen by people just catching them on their phones, is that this is the biggest storyline game in the universe, and we all came here to experience this pause that we're doing gives us a chance to meditate every day, be in nature every day, and get centered so that you can see your self-talk. And when it goes up and go, is that true? So, so if we get off this call and I say, oh, well, she did this and da, 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 and it's like, is that true? Where did that script come from? And question it and release it. Then that's the obscurations I was talking about, the dark things, because you can't hold all of your soul if you're not vibrating at a high enough level, and you can't vibrate at a high enough level if there's too many scripts running. And that's intentional. That's part of the game, I think, that we have, is like, oh, I see it, next, out of here.
Yes. There's an opportunity to flip the script. And it's like that's the beauty of what's here now. Right. That's the beauty of what's here now. When you're in there and you're like thinking there's, we always talk in this club every time, We have a saying, thoughts can only do two things. That's it. They'll either empower you or impair you. That's it. And the question is, you get to choose that. You get to choose whether it's going to empower you or impair you. And what's the thing that gets to choose? It's not your mind. Your mind is inherently negative. It loves to give you a scary narrative and it wants you to run as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So here is the thing. What is it? What aspect of yourself? Now, look at this. People are just, thank you for, if you guys have questions, fire them away. I know that you're really, really into this conversation. Thank you for being here. Self-talk, the number one issue dividing us from the divine intuition. Self-talk, that's correct. Let me tell you, if you could say more about that, it's that self-talk from keeping you from your divinity. How do you break through that when you're like, that moment of maybe you're tired or maybe you're just not, there enough, and how do you catch yourself and bring you back to center?
I think again is the pauses, when you start to feel, so basically anger and fear are potent energies. And if you're a battery, if you think of your body and your chakra system as a battery, then if it's running well, you're cruising along. But when you have one of those negative thoughts, it's zapping part of that energy.
So true.
Have that, you're releasing your creativity, your all of that. So you have to be able to breathe, to take, when you have to want to see it. You have to want to see it, and then once you want to see it, when you see it, you have to take an action to correct your thought. And
yes.
then, because you'll see, I mean, I believe all of this fear that's put out by the media is the fear is food for others.
Yes.
And that's what the game, if you're playing the game and you want to win the game, you want to reduce the fear and know that everything's in perfect divine order.
Yeah.
So no wonder I've been so wiped out. Yep, that's why. So that you can see when you're doing something, like, let's say somebody sends you a YouTube, because everybody's sending you a YouTube every 5 seconds, or a text, or
yeah.
And sorry, you guys, please don't send me those little pictures and want me to share it. I don't
have the time. I get them all the time, but who has the time to watch them?
Right,
and then you have those 5 friends that send them to you. You gotta, don't send them.
Yeah, well, the thing is that they're like those chain letter things. But anyway, what I would suggest is that you see what lights you up and what releases, what bums you out. I mean, if you can see and differentiate and go, that takes energy versus this gives me energy, and everything you can on what gives you energy. So if it's watching old comedy skits on YouTube, if you're watching I Love Lucy, or whatever it is that gives you a lot of fun and has you happy, singing, all of those things, that'll put you in a whole different frequency to be more in touch with your higher dimensional self, because we are in polarity right now. And it's super emphasized. And some people say you want to go to the mid, which is 0 point. Some people say you want to go over to the light. It's up to you which you want to do, but you can see the negative is pervasive. So you don't want to stay there, because you can't be effective and you can't be there for yourself, much less anybody else. So that's part of it. This is self-love. A lot of this is based on loving yourself enough to pay attention to your own needs and do the best thing. Yep. Singing, dancing, flowers, painting. Yep. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah. It's like, it's crucial right now to pay attention to the self during this. I want to add something that I think is really important to what she said. There is a lot of that stuff out there. I think it's purposefully being put out there. I think it's propaganda, and it's an agenda for that propaganda. So the most important thing you can protect while you're going through this unknown zone, this new paradigm, this uncertainty, is your mind. It's your mind.
Right.
Don't let anyone else run away with your reason or your discernment or your ability to say, no, this isn't for me.
Right.
When you actually get to the point where you are, it's like a gentle daily exercise. And what I do in the mornings, every single morning, is I believe in resonance. I believe in resonance and tone and quality. And I set my resonance every single morning before I do anything. What's the first thing I do? I sit down with that divine and I set my resonance for me, so that I am the highest resonance in the room, especially in my room, usually in the room of people, but in my space. And holding that resonance with myself is a form of protection for me.
Right.
It's that self-care that needs to be there. And this is something right here. Presence versus future FOMO determines energy and
Yep.
achievement.
Yep.
And to me, the loudest voice in your head should be the one coming from your soul. And in order to develop that over time, we have to be conscious and aware. Kathy, I want to say I'm so touched by what you shared today. And I think that you've been utterly generous, just over the top generous with us. And I think that this is a special time to have had you on the show, like just such a special time. And people are already just so grateful for you. Thank you, Kathy. You have such a great ability of being the translator of the ethers to the dense. This has been a very uplifting show, and that is a gift within itself. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you guys. You guys can contact Kathy and all her things. Go get her free gift to you. Go get involved. And she has her shows on the line. You could just Facebook Lives like these, and has incredible guests on as well. Look at this. This is just, look at this. Boom.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you. Let's keep going. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh, you guys, we actually have to let her go on with her day as well, you know. Look at this. So thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys, slow down.
I want everyone to know this is the time that you intended to be here for. And I mean, a part of it's a little scary because there's so much unknown. But if you look at it with excitement and what is mine to do, and with wonder, that's what Jesus said, be like a child. This is the time.
Yeah.
So you have an opportunity to be open and available, so that more of your soul can come in, and we can't even fathom how beautiful it can be. Yes. We have this new earth that we can create. It's a different timeline, right? So we can jump into this new timeline where it's a renaissance, and I really see it as a renaissance. Yeah. We've been in the dark ages. Everything's going to be shifted from all of this.
So I want to say right here, it's exciting right now.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm going to end the show today. Thank you, Kathy Mason. You are perfect timing, and I feel utterly blessed to have you here. Thanks for being here with us today.
When we scheduled this, we scheduled this over a month ago.
Yeah.
We had no
idea. All right, you guys. Peace out. Join Kathy, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.